Do blondes have more fun? Today we're talking about it. That and so much more with my friends Rachel and Tracy. There's more than one way to make your hair blonde. For me, I'm an all-over high-lift blonde. Rachel, what type of blonde are you?
I'm a highlighted blonde.
Highlighted blonde. And Tracy?
I'm a bleach blonde.
Bleach blonde.
Yeah.
So why this is important is because my natural hair color, I'm a dirty blonde. So for me, I can use a high lift product in order to get a high lift blonde hair color. Now, Rachel, your process is a little different with highlights. Why do you like highlights more than all over color?
Because I like to have a little bit of dimension. I don't want it to be all the same blonde all over. So this way I can have a little bit of different tones in there.
Okay, so then when you're getting your hair highlighted, what does that look like for people at home that have maybe never had highlights before?
I have about 200 of these in my hair all over, looking kind of crazy while it's happening. Takes a really long time to put them in, and this is the end result.
Beautiful.
But in the process, you look a little bit weird.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, I think we've all had our hair colors processed and it looks a little bit funny. Like for me, because there's blue and violet in my hair color, when I'm processing, my hair color is blue. So for people at home, what it's processing, it's not going to be the finished result. And I know for you, Tracy, your natural hair color is quite dark.
Yeah, I'm naturally a brunette, so I am a bleach blonde because I know that I need to be a very, very, very light blonde. Something more natural on me probably wouldn't look as good.
I know for me, in order for my hair color to process, it takes about 45 minutes. What about for you? Because you're brunette, going blonde, how long does that take?
Right, so the whole process would take about 4 hours with application and processing time.
So a long time to be sitting in the salon. And how about cost, ladies? Because we know as blondes, it's not cheap being a blonde. No. How much do highlights cost you?
I would say on average about $250 every single time I go in, which adds up over time. So
$250, and how often are you getting it done?
Every 8 weeks.
Every 8 weeks. Yeah. Okay, and that's about normal for someone that's highlighted in blonde?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
I would say so, yeah.
And Tracy, how often are you getting your hair colored and how much does it cost?
Because my hair is quite short, I would say like every 5 weeks I need to be coming back getting my hair touched up, and it would cost roughly about $120, including a toner with that.
Yeah, but not your initial hair color, right?
My initial hair color, yeah, it would be about 120.
About 120? Yeah. So that's not so bad. Because I know for myself, depending on if I have a special event, I really like to have my hair colored between every 4 and 6 weeks. I think it's rare for me to go 6, because right now I'm probably at 4 and I'm dying to have it colored. And then cost-wise, yeah, it's about $100 each time that I'm in the salon. So maintenance for blondes at home, I know varies from blonde to blonde and person to person. For me and my personal routine, people are always shocked that I love to wash my hair every day. And I think because I wash my hair every day, I don't worry too much about always using a purple shampoo, because I feel like there's no time for my hair to really absorb sort of like smoke or dirt from the environment, which, by the way, for you at home, if you have blonde hair, our hair color will pick up sort of pollution from the environment. So if you're a heavy smoker, your hair can go yellow from smoking, in which case you have to pick up a purple shampoo or a purple conditioner. I also am not one to do treatments very often because I always say super healthy hair is overrated, and I like for my hair to feel slightly rough. So my daily routine depends on what I'm doing, although I do love the Aveda damage control because it's super light. On occasion, I will do a treatment, and I think it's important, especially in the winter when it's super staticky. And styling products, I just stay away from anything that looks really yellow in the tube. What about you, Tracy? What do you like to use?
For me, because I did just color my hair about 2 weeks ago, my scalp is quite dry. So I like to use more of a moisturizing shampoo right now. So I use the Color Conserve, which will also help with my blonde. And I mean, I wash my hair every other day because I actually kind of like a little bit of the natural oils that come to my scalp. So I don't really use a purple conditioner at this point. I would just probably go in and get a toner if I needed one.
And how about you, Rachel? I know that unlike me, you really like to use a lot of product in your hair.
Yeah. So I don't wash my hair very often, maybe once a week. So every single time I wash my hair, I always use blue conditioner to get rid of any yellow tones I'm seeing. And my other big trick is, like right now, how my roots are coming in. I like to use a lot of dry shampoo because it kind of blends the roots so you don't have as much of an obvious dark line.
Oh, that's smart. I've never actually thought of that. Maybe I need some of that right now. I can just spray it along the top. Or some baby powder because it's light, right? Or yes, like even Aveda dry shampoo because it's white. That'll blend the root.
Yeah.
Which makes me think about, what about gray hair? Like I find as a blonde, I know that when sort of the unpigmented gray hair comes in, I don't have to worry about having such a line. Like some women that are really dark and then they color their hair really dark, they have a very strong sort of like white line. So I always say that blondes just become blonder as they age. Have you ever thought about how you're gonna adjust your hair color as you start to get a little bit more gray or get gray? I don't know if you do.
I've actually thought about it this week. So eventually what I'll be doing is still highlights and I'll have to do a color in between, but I'm sure it will be lighter than my natural color. So it's true what you said, blondes get blonder.
So as blondes that are really hair color blondes, because none of us have our natural color right now, how do you feel about getting roots?
I personally like a little bit of root. I think it looks better on my skin, and I just like the dimension that it kind of creates.
Okay.
Sometimes when it's all blonde on me, I feel like it just kind of fades into my skin.
Okay, I know I've definitely experienced that when I like both. I like it when I have zero root, and I also don't mind when I have a little bit, for the reason like you said, certain hairstyles, like if I braid my hair, I like having the root because then I can see a bit of dimension. But when I go on vacation and my hair has no root and I get my hair wet, I look bald. So I just know that I can't take a picture at that time or be around people, like, because I will look bald. What about you, Rachel? Do you like a root?
I personally like my hair freshly done because I have highlights. I still have some of my natural in between. So I find I prefer it when it's freshly done. Like right now, this is way too long and I really need my color done. So.
And with highlights also, because you're not going right to the scalp, it always still gives a little bit of a root, right?
She gets it pretty close, but there's still always going to be a little tiny bit that's not covered.
Okay. And something that I think is really important for us to discuss is breakage. Because I know for me, why I also know that I have to wait a certain amount of time is there's gonna be eventual overlap of product. And I know that if I try to get my hair colored too soon and the person that's coloring my hair, say, maybe doesn't have super accurate technique, I can get a lot of breakage. So Tracy, with a bleaching tone, have you experienced any really bad breakage stories?
Yeah, I have, but with hair this short, if I overlap, it almost works to my advantage. So it makes my ends a little bit lighter and a little brighter, and I have less of that sort of yellow undertone, which I like. But if my hair gets much longer than this, then I have experienced breakage, like in my crown area, and it's not fun.
Not fun?
No.
And what about you, Rachel? Breakage?
For me, all of mine is the finer hairs around my face. Like these will never grow because that's generally the first spot they put the foil in, and that hair is finer. So these are always a lot shorter. And I have a little piece right here right now.
Aww. And I think that's sort of something to discuss because realistically, to be blonde, it's pretty high maintenance, and it is something that I would never recommend for people to do at home. Never.
Under any circumstances, no.
Yes, like
Definitely not.
never, right? Like I think I'd have my husband apply hair color on me before I would do it to myself.
Really? You'd let your husband do your hair?
Oh no, actually I take it back. I would not let him do my hair color at all. Because surprise, surprise, we're all professionals, right? Like you're a hair colorist, you're a hair colorist, I know about hair color. So in saying that, like Rachel, what are your tips for people at home if they do have to maybe do a hair color on themselves? Or would you just be like, no, absolutely not, find someone to do your highlights for you?
I would never do blonde at home if you're not a professional under any circumstances. Because when you buy color in a box, it comes with one tube of developer. So it doesn't matter if your natural color is dirty blonde or your natural color is closer to black. That one tube is supposed to do the same thing for everybody. So as I do color on people, I'm changing the developer throughout the formula so that it actually looks even from root to end. Whereas if you're putting the same thing all over the whole head, that doesn't necessarily happen. Your scalp's warmer, so it processes differently than the ends.
And if there's something already on their hair, they can end up with orange or who knows what else, breakage.
And inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to apply the color evenly at home on your own head.
And properly saturate it.
Yeah.
And saturation, you mean just like making sure there's enough product on the hair?
Yeah.
So do you feel like everyone can be blonde, in your professional opinion?
Yeah, I think so.
As long as they're choosing the right blonde for their skin tone.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the biggest part of that.
Okay, and are there skin tones that shouldn't be blonde?
I mean, I think that if you do a little bit of research and you're looking at photos of things that you like and things that you don't like, and then take it to your professional, your stylist, and let them guide you and help you make the right decision for what type of blonde you should be.
Excellent, yeah. And so when you're meeting with someone, what are some of the things that you need to find out first before you'll even consider making them blonde?
How much time they want to spend in the salon.
Oh, definitely, right?
How much time?
How much money?
How much money?
And another thing too, if I'm looking at pictures with them and they're like a darker skin tone and they're showing me pictures of Taylor Swift, I always make sure I go and find pictures that is somebody who has a more similar skin tone to them, so they have realistic expectations.
Because there are some hair types that really take a long time to lift and get lighter versus other hair types that it's just like, wow, like we got you blonde and bright super fast.
Yeah,
For sure.
So I know that in the early 2000s with a lot of the boy bands, there was the whole look of guys doing frosted tips, and it's now 2018, almost 19, and that's no longer in fashion. But how do you feel about men going blonde?
I like it if it's done properly and if it's done in a modern way.
Okay,
That's what I think.
So would you want to see your boyfriend with blonde hair?
Totally.
Totally? Tracy?
Yeah, I'd be open to it.
Yeah, do you like Kanye West's blonde hair?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm not a huge fan of it, but I mean, I think you have short hair, like try it once. Why not?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay, talking about you have short hair, because we know that breakage is something that we've all sort of dealt with. And I know for me, I don't mind a tiny bit of breakage, but I'll do a treatment every now and then. Are there any specific treatments that you have found that you love to do on your blonde hair or on your clients?
I always use the Aveda botanical treatment at least once a month just to keep my hair healthy. And in between, I use the cherry almond conditioner because it makes it feel really soft without feeling weighed down.
Okay, and what about you, Tracy? Your hair is so short.
Right, so for me, it's not as much about the hair, it's more about the scalp. So I really like the Promisana treatment, the scalp treatment. So I'll use that cleanser in replacement of my shampoo, maybe once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something that I also have discovered in the salon is there's a lot of women that are doing balayage or ombre. And even on occasion, they did balayage ombre in the summer, and now that it's wintertime, they've covered it up. And when they're brushing their hair or I'm brushing their hair, they'll notice that hair will fall off. And for them, because maybe they aren't as used to the blonde process, they'll be like, oh my goodness, my hair is breaking off. And I'll be like, yeah, it's just a part of being blonde.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's breakage on my dress right now.
Yeah, I think we all had a little bit of that. So Rachel, have you been blonde your whole life?
Sadly, in high school, I used to color my hair chocolate cherry by Faria, which is a deep burgundy red. Didn't do the best things for my skin tone, but But I would say probably for about the last 8 years I've been blonde, with the odd time that I've gone pink.
Oh, okay.
But you need to be blonde to go pink anyways, and it's not a high commitment.
Okay. I know for me, I've always been blonde. There was once in my life I went dark to see if I would look more like my siblings because they're naturally dark. And basically I just discovered that I had to wear a ton of makeup in order for it to look half decent. And in saying that, I've been my natural blonde, which is really like dirty blonde, but my favorite is definitely like a brighter blonde. So I will probably be blonde until the day I die. And Tracy, you just went blonde, right?
Yeah, I've been blonde for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I've been blonde one time before that, about 4 years ago. So will I be blonde forever? Probably not. But it's fun to have for a period of time.
And in saying about fun, do you think blondes have more fun?
Yeah, I think, sure. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Rachel, do you think blondes have more fun?
I do. Yeah. I always have fun.
You always have fun. I think fun people have fun.
Absolutely.
That's true.
A blonde goes to her doctor to find out if she's pregnant. The doctor comes back and he says, "You're pregnant." And she goes, "Is it mine?"
Oh my God.
So the blonde says, "What does IDK stand for?" Brunette
Okay.
replies, "I don't know." Blonde replies, "Why doesn't anybody know?"
That's actually a good one.
Pretty funny. Stupid.
But I also didn't know what IDK stands for.
I don't know what IDK stands for either.
I did, but I was playing along.
So that actually stands for something?
I don't know.
Like when you're
It stands for I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know what it stands for. I don't know. IDK.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's Morgan again. If you liked this video, make sure that you've subscribed. I have a new video like this coming to you every week. And while you're at it, share with your friends.